Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing today? All right. So right now it is raining in Akure, and I had difficulty coming online. Like I'm actually like watching everywhere. I can see the rain falling, and the network signal is very, very poor also. But hey, I have to be here, and it's good to be here. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys can see me properly. On today's episode, this is episode 49, and my name remains Adams Luafemi Olajide. And as usual, I'll tell you, welcome to the Otumba Adams Show. All right, so how's the weather wherever you are? It's very, very dark out there, right? I can actually see the weather. I can see it's raining, and hey, it's one of those things. And I am praying, like I'm literally praying that the nest of the internet would cooperate with me today. My original internet did not, but I had to like look for an alternative to it. So in today's episode, I'll be looking at why should entrepreneurs read books? Why should entrepreneurs read books? Is what we'll be talking about today. And I am really, really praying this network is really acting up. And I think I just need to like set this properly to find a spot where the internet will be great. But I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I think I'll just leave the internet the way it is and pray that the network is good enough for this broadcast. All right, so one of the things that like I have learned growing up is that there's a particular adage that says readers are leaders, right? But on the other hand, I also have gotten to realize that if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book. All right, that's the general saying. Put a thing in a book if you want to keep something from an African. And since I'm Nigerian, I understand the fact that like a lot of people find it difficult in this part of the world to read books. People literally read it. They just want to wing it. They don't fancy reading, right? So I am here to talk about the reasons why you actually need to read as an entrepreneur, because this is very, very important to you. You need it as an entrepreneur if you want to grow. Now, one of the most famous, or some of the most famous millionaires and billionaires out there are readers. They constantly read books. It is said that like Mark Zuckerberg reads a book in 2 weeks. Bill Gates reads a book in a week. Oprah, on the other hand, shares her favorite books with her club group every month. And Warren Buffett spends over 80% of his time, his free time, reading books. And it goes to show that like readers are leaders. If you commit yourself to reading, you would grow, right? You would grow. I know where I am coming from, and personally, books are probably the reasons why I am here today, and like I can stand confidently in front of you all watching me out there and then deliver what I need to deliver. So in today's episode, I will be looking at different reasons why you need to read. I can see someone liking me on Facebook. Thank you very much. If you'd like to leave your name and introduce yourself, I'll be very much happy to welcome you. I'm trying to make this episode as fast as possible for the sake of the weather, because it is raining right now and I cannot predict what would happen next. So I'm trying to like cut everything short as much as possible. If I can spend nothing more than 15 minutes, I'm going to do that on today's episode. All right, so where was I? All right, so I was looking at different reasons why you need to read. All right, the number one reason, let me put that on the screen. Number one reason is, drum rolls please, come. One reason is the fact that like you can easily spot opportunities, right? Oh, I think the network is actually poor. Okay, great. You can easily and quickly spot opportunities. That's one of the beauty about reading books, right? Because when you as an entrepreneur, you are reading books of what other entrepreneurs have done in their own lifetime, right? It is easier for you to like spot new opportunities that you can actually like use in your own what's the word now, in your own business, in your own line of in your own line of business, and it helps out, right? You easily spot new, but like I think I have read books that gave me ideas of what I could inculcate into my own business and to make my own business better. So that's the beauty about having to read books. You spot new opportunities. All right. Moving on, let me go to number 2. Number 2 on my list is number 2, you become more creative, right? Now, one of the or one person I would actually use as an example is Elon Musk. Elon Musk is one of the most creative humans I have ever met. And when he was asked that, like, how do you come about your level of creativity? And his response is he attributes it to what? To reading, right? He attributes it to reading. I'm sorry, I need to like put off my phone so that I can be able to concentrate better on this. All right, so he attributes it to reading. So reading makes you as creative as possible because you tend to what's the word now? You tend to like spot how things are, and then like you can now start connecting the dots, right? You see someone do something in a particular way, or you read about someone doing something in a particular way. The next thing you're like, okay, how can I inculcate this same thing into what I am doing currently? That's the beauty about reading. Okay, you become much more creative than the way you were. All right, that is that about that. Moving on to number 3, I said that like I am going to be as fast as possible. Number 3 is reading improves your communication. Now, when it comes to you talking to people, talking to your staff, talking to business men and women that you're trying to pitch your ideas to, for some people, it is very, very hard for them to communicate their ideas and put it in a way that is very presentable. Now, that is where reading books come to play, in the sense that when you read books, you would have gotten used to the fact that like, okay, this is how I am meant to communicate with people. This is how I am meant to pitch. This is how I am meant to present my idea to them, such that they would buy into what I am selling, such that the team will be able to like understand what I am trying to pass across to them without them having to like second guess themselves. That like, is this what the boss is saying, or is this what this guy is saying? That's the beauty about reading. Your communication is going to be what? Top notch. It improves your communication with people. All right, so moving on. I'm trying to be as fast as possible because of the rain. It's raining heavily out there, and I actually love the weather. Number 4, reading boosts your confidence. Reading does what? Reading boosts your confidence. Have you ever been in a place where you had to talk, or you had to like stand in front of a crowd and then like speak? If you are not used to reading, believe you me, it would take a lot out of you for you to be able to have that confidence to face a crowd. Yes, everybody gets jittery at some point. Like you're probably like scared, or probably you have butterflies in your tummy, but your confidence is still there. Your confidence is there because once you read, you have different things you can easily pick from, right? Ideas that like you have read from that book, from this book, from that other book. Like by the time you put it together and you start talking, before you know it, like your confidence is magnified. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Your confidence is magnified, and you can deliver the speech beautifully well. Wherever you go, you know that like you have an idea about 1 or 2 things that everybody is talking about, because you as an entrepreneur, you understand the fact that like you need to know a little bit about this, a little bit about that, and it helps you out a lot to face people that like are probably not even within your core niche. All right, that is what reading does to you. I love you guys that are giving me likes on Facebook. Please introduce yourself as you're watching it. It would really go a long way. All right, so moving on to number 5. Moving on to number 5. I am almost done because of the rain, as I said earlier. Moving on to number 5. Kind of like put it on the screen now. All right. You find answers to your business problems. Now, a lot of the time as a business person, you would always encounter one problem or the other. Now, it is not every time that like you would easily see solutions from people around you, but you can easily get those solutions from reading books, right? Now, let me use myself as an example. One of the things that I am trying to learn this year, one of the problems I've been having this year is getting more sales in my business. And I realized that like, okay, I have this difficulty being a salesperson. So what can I do to become a better salesman, right? I have started reading more books on sales to understand how it works, the chemistry behind it, the ideology about being a salesperson and having to like get new clients to pay for your service. That is what I am actually reading on right now, and that is what book does. Once you spot your problem and you can find a book that can solve the problem, then that problem you're facing in your business would automatically be solved. That's the beauty about reading. All right, so moving on to number 6. I'm trying to be as fast as possible. Moving on to number 6, I have, ladies and gentlemen, and put it on the screen. The brain functions better when you read. I think I'm supposed to like edit this. Sorry, just a second. Let me edit that and I'll bring back on the screen. Okay, the brain functions better when you read. Now, when it comes to reading, right? The reading helps your brain to have a good memory. If you want to have a very, very sharp memory, you need to learn how to read. Then it helps you in making strategic decisions in your business. All right. It helps you to have good memory, strategic decision making, and also having verbal intelligence, having to know how to talk properly. That is what book does to you as an entrepreneur. And the brain, like, you know, when you're reading, right, as compared to like when you are probably like watching a video, your brain becomes much more creative because you're trying to like bring to life what you're reading. You're trying to like comprehend what you're reading, especially like when you're trying to read novels, right? You try to like imagine how the writer or what the writer is trying to portray, and then like in your mind's eye, you have this vision of what you feel the person is trying to say. And at that point in time, you are making your brain to be much more creative, and you are working on your brain, helping your brain neurons to exercise themselves. That's the beauty about reading. And the last part on my list, number 7, is reading helps you to reduce stress. Reading helps you to reduce stress. Okay, so I'm seeing what Mr. Adewale is saying. Said, one thing I am going to do differently in my next world is to read literatures. I was so engrossed with science and technology that I saw reading novels as a waste of time. You're very right, bro. Yes, sir. I have to be sincere with you. And I still want to believe that like you still have the opportunity, you still have the time to read, right? You still have it. So don't feel that like because you are older and you have kids, it may just be like a book a month. It may be a book in 2 months. Just make sure that like you try to read and like branch beyond the scope of what's the word now? The scope of your own field, such that if you are anywhere and you have to deliver a speech, you know that like okay, you are speaking to cut across different people from different spheres of life, and it is going to make it easier for you to be able to like command the respect that you need on the long run. All right, so talking about stress, reading reduces stress, right? Now, as an entrepreneur, as even a business person, as someone that has a job, there's no way you would always be stressed out. You go out in the day, you come back at night, you would be worn out. Different things would have happened during the day. And what reading book does is that it reduces stress. There's a particular, what's the word now? A particular study in 2009 shows that like reading reduces stress level by 68%. Reading reduces stress level by 68%, much more than listening to music, much more than playing video games, much more than going for walks, much more than even like sipping tea. So you need to read a book. If you want to reduce your level of stress, try to read a book. Probably like an hour before you go to bed, switch off all your devices, your phones, everything that like will probably distract you, your TV, whatever it is that like can easily distract you. You know what I'm trying to say. And then pick up a book and read. As at last night, because it was like earlier this morning, I read a book before sleeping. Like it's a norm for me. It's either I am online trying to read something or probably like I'm reading a book per time, right? I picked up a book on copywriting, a course I bought, and I was reading till I slept off last night. And I woke up feeling much happier this morning. And that is what reading book does. Okay. So if you are a business person, an entrepreneur, or whatever it is that like you do in your life, make sure that you read a book because it is going to it's going to build your person. All right. It's going to build your life and you're going to become better on the long run. If you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be a billionaire, know fully well that like if you're not a reader or you'll be your case. Like there's a level you can get to in life without reading, but you cannot go beyond that point. But when you read, your mind is open to more things that can help you to grow on the long run. On this note, I have come to the end of today's episode. The rain is falling, and I am very, very much afraid. We know how Nigerian weather is, that the network might probably, what's the word now? Trip off any moment from now. I would like to thank every one of you guys that stood and, or stayed rather, and watched me to the very end. Thank you very much. And I hope that you have learned something important that can make you a better person and can help you grow in every area of your life. Thank you very much and have a lovely evening. My name remains Adams Oluwafemi. Peace out. Yes, Mr. Adewale, you're welcome. You're welcome.